So it's me back in Detroit.
This is a world premiere. This is a world.
I have spent the last 3 days in Buffalo for the CommonBound conference, and before that there was a gathering at AltSpace of a mutual aid network where people were here from St. Louis, Missouri and from Madison, Wisconsin. The gathering here was amazing, and you saw some of the videos of Lillian Cho, who is a doctor who practices food as medicine, and her daughter, Julia Ho, did a wonderful video for me where she defined social justice. There were also a number of young people who I had the opportunity to interview while I was in Buffalo at the CommonBound conference, and those videos are up and available, and some of you have already been commenting on them, so I'm really glad that I was able to share some of the amazing people that I met while I was in Buffalo. Some comments on Buffalo and the conference in general. Not a vegan-friendly space. Obviously, AltSpace is a vegan-friendly space. In fact, there are no animal products allowed on the premises. And I shouldn't say, well, there are no animal food products. Obviously, if people are wearing leather shoes, leather belts, they're not going to be thrown out. But there's definitely not the preparation of animal products here on the property. And if people, insist on eating animal products, they have to do it outside. So that wasn't happening in Buffalo. In fact, in the first hour of the conference, during the first plenary, they were offering us the top 10 things to do in Buffalo, and 2 of the top 10 things were eating fish and eating chicken. So just not a very vegan-friendly space, and it's a social justice space, so you would think that they would consider the sensitivity. So I went through the entire conference just thinking about that and thinking how important it is going to be for people as they think about what the world will be like when we're not exploiting each other, that we need to include other earthlings in that analysis. We just have to include other earthlings in that analysis. If it is acceptable to exploit any being, the earth itself, if exploitation is acceptable in any way, then it is acceptable in every way. It's just as simple as that. And it's not really a matter of yes, everything is going to be okay, but if you can accept that that person is being exploited, then you have to assume that someone is going to come and do the same thing to you. If you can accept that people in third world countries are, and forgive me for using that horrible term, if you can accept that people in certain parts of the world are being exploited for their labor to make sneakers, then you have to expect that animals are going to be exploited in other parts of the world to become part of the food system. It's just common sense. So we just have to do better. We have to do better across the board. That said, I had a conversation with the executive director of the organization that was hosting the conference, and he apologized and told me that he was vegan. And that blew me away. And at that point, I said to him, well, then this is your fault, because you were the person who knew better, and you were in the position to make sure that an analysis of non-human animal exploitation became part of this conference, and he dropped the ball. But as always, in these spaces, vegans are so worried about upsetting people or losing funding that they don't do the right thing. And it's not as if veganism had to become the central theme, but just make sure that you get it in there. Just get it in there. And it's not that hard. It's really not that hard, especially when people are already coming to a conference open and willing to learn more, wanting to understand better how to address systems of oppression. That's it for this video. Like it if you like it. Share, comment, subscribe. This is Reg signing off. Love yourself. Peace.
And I love myself.